might catch some people off guard. You say you should renew your passport 9 months before traveling internationally. Why such a big lead time?
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing I'd like to add is that the first time you should be thinking about your passport is not the night before you're leaving or at the airport.
Yeah, honey, do I have my passport?
The minute you book that trip, make sure you've got your passport and always know where it is. And the reason why we recommend that you that you renew it at least 9 months in advance is because nowadays most countries require that your passport is valid at least 6 months beyond the date of your return. So if you, for example, if you wanted to travel to a country in Europe a month from now, most likely you wouldn't be able to use a passport that is expiring less than 6 months from now.
That's a big problem.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that.
And then in what situations, learning about like a travel visa, that would never cross my mind.
Yeah, quite a few countries require what's called a visa. If you notice in the back of your passport, you've got some pages where they actually stamp a special permission slip for you to enter that country. And countries, for example, Vietnam, India, China, quite a few other countries require a special visa to come into the country for a temporary period of time, in addition to the passport. Okay. And Travisa is the company we recommend you check with to find out whether or not you need a visa to get into the country.
Okay, good.
That would be a bummer. The other thing, too, this is something I never do is the travel insurance, but you say that you might want to look into this.
Oh, yeah. Never leave the country without travel insurance. Really? Absolutely not.
So many of us, we pass on it because we just put down a couple grand and we say we don't want to do the extra whatever.
I can afford to lose a couple $1,000s, right. But what if you're overseas and you become really ill, or you become hit by a car, or somebody in your family becomes ill and you have to get on a plane and come home right away? That's where travel insurance really comes in handy. AAA works with a company called Allianz, and they are fantastic. So all you really need to do is call one of our agents and we can do a quote for you. We really just need to know the amount you want to cover and your age. They also offer what now is referred to as cancel for any reason insurance, and that allows you to cancel for a reason other than a covered reason like illness and death in the family. That'll give you about 80% of your money back, and you don't need to have a covered reason, but it comes in handy.
Hey, sometimes it's peace of mind, too. That's what you're paying for,
yeah,
right?
Yep.
Something else you say that we should be thinking about to be better travelers. Safety. Got to be a priority, especially when you're traveling out of the country. Tell me about the STEP program.
STEP program. Yeah, a lot of people aren't aware of the fact that if you go to state.gov, that's the government website, and you enroll in a program called STEP, that stands for Smart Travel Enrollment Program. Basically what that does is it enrolls you with the local embassy or consulate of the destination you're traveling to. So that, let's say there's civil unrest or a natural disaster, or someone in your family becomes ill and they need to reach you. It's basically letting the country know, letting our country know where you are so you can be reached. Things can happen.
That's a good idea. Yeah. And then the other thing, too, is you talk about you have to kind of conceal some of the stuff you're carrying, because I think so many times as tourists, we have a million things, a camera and our wallets and all that.
Oh, I could go on and on. I used to manage one of our branch offices, and I was famous for really lecturing people on these things. But you always want to have a crossbody bag, never anything over your shoulder. And anything like credit cards, cash, passport should really be worn underneath your clothing, and our travel store has plenty of items. Just go in there, members save extra, and they can get you the right product to help protect some of those really, really valuable items that you do not want to lose. You don't want to lose a passport on a trip.
This sounds simple, but a lot of people overlook this. Don't look like a dummy. Actually do some research on your destination. We book where we want to go, and then we sort of just get there and think, well, now what do we do?
Yeah, and AAA is famous for that because we have, of course, the famous TripTics and tour books. So we're famous for helping travelers become familiar with their destination, even if it's just here in the United States before they go. We also have travel books for a discount. But one of the things I really like to point out is that by doing a little homework on the culture and how to say please and thank you, a little bit about the history, and what to see and do, you're well prepared to hit the ground running when you get there. So you're not fumbling around when you arrive, wondering what you're going to do on your trip. You know a little bit about the destination.
And they love that. They welcome you. They get excited when somebody tries something.
Yeah. Yep.
If you're thinking all of this sounds daunting to use a travel professional, you'll make sure that we get all these boxes checked, right?
Yep. have all the boxes checked. We can line it up for you. We can make comparisons for you. Compare between trains and car rental, river cruise or ocean cruise. We can lay that all out for you and make it easy.
Well, you want those vacation conversations to be fun and not stressful.
Absolutely.
Some good stuff there. Thanks, Renata.
Thank you very much. And you'll find additional habits worth adopting on TwinCitiesLife.com. AAA Minneapolis is ready to help you plan an unforgettable vacation. You can contact their travel team at the number on your screen. It's also posted on our website. And a big thanks to AAA Minneapolis for sponsoring the show.
Our series shining the spotlight on suburbs